Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Wise Tips. Eduardo, how are you doing today?
Cold. It's been
Yeah,
cold.
I think like just about everybody in the United States right now, it's a little cold.
Holy, holy.
Might be an understatement of the century at the moment,
Yeah.
but
I'm glad that we work in the office, but I feel so bad for several of our users. They have to be on the field assisting horses. My heart goes to them.
yes, indeed. Here's to hopefully a lot of little buddy heaters spread throughout everywhere. Well, let's make this one a nice and concise one here today, hopefully. And we've got a lot to talk about, though, and a lot
Yeah,
of
and
like
we have
exciting
things for
things.
users and non-users.
Yeah, I know. Well, let's start with just some wise updates here. What's been going on with us? I mean, it's been crazy.
Do you find time for wise tips and wise updates now, Rachel?
Well,
I
if
have
we
to
don't have
send
it
some
blocked off on the
appointments to your
calendar,
calendar.
I'm sorry.
I have to send some appointments to your calendar if you have openings.
Well, and not for you. Maybe not for you. For users, yes. Maybe not for you. I gotta keep them open for the users.
I hear that you're being crazy, right?
Yeah, but it's a good feeling, and of course, all the last minute people coming in, especially trying to squeeze in right for breeding season. But you know what? I have to say that there's been a good number of population of non-breeders as well. That's kind of been filling up our plates
That's
as well
true.
too.
Yes.
So that's been really exciting, and even at this time of year too. So it's been pretty busy, but
We're
it's
trying our best. If you are
exciting.
out there and you are, trying to find a place here at Wise Option, honestly, we are doing our best. The list this year went way above than anything that we could have ever imagined. Of course, at this time, reproduction centers are the evidence, but for our surprise, we are also having tons of clinics, ambulatory work, and doing getting everybody's trying to gear it up for
The new
for
year.
for the new year.
Yeah.
So thank you for your patience. We're doing our best. We are squeezing here appointments, and we're gonna get you guys going as fast as we can. But the secret now is to plan ahead. Um, there's always procrastinators. Who am I to say anything about those?
I know, right? Someone you're
Yes.
talking to.
So I tight my lips before I say anything about procrastinators. It's a human nature. We get it. But we just ask for you guys to work with us because the volume has been crazy over here.
Yeah. Very, very exciting. And also has led to some, exciting updates. We've been cranking out updates like left and right.
There
As
we
busy
go.
as we are, our dev team is keeping busy is an understatement. I think there's literally smoke coming from most of
So
their
proud of them.
computers.
So
Um,
proud of them.
I mean, they're incredible. And one of the features I have to say that I'm most impressed with is that the Repro X-Ray as well. I mean, I'm
First
super.
is how funny the name is.
I know it's pretty. I like
Confusing.
it.
First,
It is
it puts people to think Repro X-ray.
X-ray.
What the heck is that? How would you describe Repro X-ray?
So the Repro X-Ray is the wise option of wise option, right? Wise option is always it's a cumulative, right? It's a cumulative and comprehensive program. The Repro X-Ray is your reproduction comprehensive view of the mare. So it's your ability to see everything from her vitrified
Snapshot.
embryos in the inventory, how many times you've shipped semen to her, from where and for who, breeding a log, embryo transfer log. So when you're making these kinds of decisions, especially from cycle to cycle on whether or not to go back to a particular stallion or to change stallions, a lot of times users were starting on the summary card and then they were going to the breeding log, then they were going to the vitrified embryo inventory, then they were going to the ET log and seeing what was currently working, instead of just having one form to view everything on to make those cumulative decisions. So it's not something that we envision users utilizing every single day with every single horse. But for those decision makers, for that when you want to dive a little bit deeper, very quick shortcut from the summary card, which we're going to talk a little bit about that shortcut here in just a second.
Yes. Well, I think that it's important to mention that in our last webinar, that was the number one
Yes.
feature requested by our users. We are now what we call the click killer mode. And I loved when they mentioned, can we have everything grouped in one screen so I don't have to click here to see this, click there, so back and forward. That's what the Repro X-Ray is. I love the way you described it. But like any new features, it doesn't come perfect in the first
Perfect on the first
release.
round. Never.
Yes. So we are We are tweaking, for the current users. Of course, some people jumped high because there were actually extra clicks in the first release, but we heard our crowd, and we are tweaking and making adjustments, which is already available. We already have a new version, and everybody should be getting the new version this week.
Yes, very good point. At least it was a very easy fix, and it was a very easy little minor adjustment.
Yes,
Yeah.
but the major package, which is everything in one spot, is there, and I love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we talked about something exciting inside the program. Let's talk about something exciting, maybe related to outside the program, maybe some traveling coming up soon.
The remote is on the road. Yes, we're going to be in one of our clients here in Aubrey, Texas. Actually, the place I can disclose it, Sweems and Stevens. We're going to be there visiting and researching for some hospital features. And also, they are a notorious large select breeders frozen semen inventory place. They have a large reproduction operation as well. And we reserve 2 days for, users and non-users. If you're not a non-user and you are in the Aubrey, Texas area, by La Pointe to Gainesville, if you want to come down and visit, the 15th and the 16th will be open from 2 to 5. The Remuda will be open. We request RSVP because Remuda is very concise, but it's on demand. You come with your questions, and we're going to be, is the mobile office, visiting places and bringing news to support training and news to the users on site.
That's very exciting. When I was a user, I very much appreciated those visits. I can speak from a user standpoint and non-user standpoint, but I really did appreciate it.
It's good to be on the road, and hopefully it's not going to be that cold anymore.
Yes, hopefully I think it's going to be a short-lived one. Hopefully, at least if it doesn't come back. But just to reiterate, if you are interested in that, please make sure that you do RSVP. Those are required. As
Yes.
Eduardo said, it's a more concise space. So make sure that if you are a current user, make sure you follow there on the newsletter that was sent out for directions, as well as there'll be a post here on the Facebook discussion group as well.
Contact us on Facebook and we will. Yes, that's the best place. And we're going to have a podcast coming.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Can't forget the podcast. I almost forgot that on my
So we're
list.
trying to keep a balance here, okay, guys? We are talking sometimes our reproduction guys, and then we have our training guys, and then we have the rehab centers, and we have the larger hospitals. So the next podcast, like all the reproduction centers, are pretty much ready to go because breeding season is no longer on the corner, is here.
It's here.
We are now starting bringing some news to the hospitals and clinics. And I will not disclose everything right now, but if you are a large hospital and you have questions about how the process is in the implementation project for a large project like this, stay tuned, because we're going to bring somebody who is right now in this process to tell his personal experience. I always like to say that I'm suspicious to say anything because, Rachel, come on, you and I, implementation and migration is our daily lives, right?
Yes.
And when you hear somebody from their experience, I think it's going to be a valuable podcast for you to pay attention and stay tuned with us, because it's going to bring valuable information on how things actually work on the day-to-day for a large implementation like that. I'm going to bring more news as we go.
Well, exciting. Well, I think the last thing I had on our list here is a bit of exciting news for non-Wise Option users in the account for a 45-day trial.
Back to our development team. So they put amazing robots to work for us on the back end. Wise Option is, on the equine space and the veterinarian space, practice management software in the cloud, and I mean true cloud. As far as I checked last time, is still the only company that provides one database per customer. We don't have a big cluster of a bunch of database. We don't share your data with pharmaceutical companies or distributor centers or lab. Each client has its own database. So you imagine how crazy it is to maintain this. Our development team now created robots, mini-minis, that will do the magic and can easily instantiate cloud servers for us on the blink of an eye. It's really just a push and a button, and the process happens. Guess what? we are now offering free trials. So we have a qualification process, but you can call us. If you qualify, 24 hours later, you have your WISE option instantiated, no credit cards needed, and for 45 days, why not 30? Why 45? Because we want you to close at least one billing cycle.
Yeah.
So we give you 45 days for you to have the full experience. We're going to give you all the implementation package, e-learnings and everything. No credit card needed. You just off and go. But we do require a qualification call to see, how serious your business is, if you're really taking this serious, if you have commitments of following the steps. And we want to give you the chance to try hands-on on the system. I'm excited about this.
Me too. Me too. I know we announced it there in that latest newsletter, so I'm excited in the coming months to see how this goes here for non-users alike, and hopefully, like I said, all leads to only better things from here.
That's right. And it's different when you push the button, you see the screens, and you can operate. Most especially yet because you can close the billing cycle and actually go. You can have, even if you want to go with credit card implementation, that's going to allow you full integrations. It's the entire system. There's no limitation. There's no governor limiting number of patients, customers, doctors, whatever. It's the whole thing. You use the whole thing for 45 days free.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for these upcoming months. We've got a ton more things. We had to actually narrow down our list today from all the things we wanted to talk about and the new updates as well. But like I said, we'll hop on these more often. Eduardo, I think we're gonna play pretty hard on this every Tuesday WISE Tips. So tune in and come back, see us next week.
We'll bring you more news. See you next time.
Bye.